It is the 1st of September 1939, the Nazis have begun invading Poland and the Allies send an ultimatum to Germany.
I am speaking to you from the Cabinet Room at 10 Downing Street. This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, a state of war would exist. I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
But Hitler ignored this and kept pushing into Poland. 2 days later, on the 3rd of September, the Allies declare war on Germany. The Soviets declare war on Poland on the 17th, 2 days after they ceasefire with Japan. A month later, Warsaw falls, and 2 weeks later, the last large operation unit of the Polish army surrenders. The Soviet Union and Germany carve up Poland, giving Slovakia some territory. Another month later and the Soviets are back at war, this time it's against Finland. The war ends in March with the Finnish giving territory to the Soviets. 2 months later and the Red Bear annexes the Baltics. At the end of September 1940, the USSR signs the Tripartite Pact with Germany and Italy instead of Japan in our world. Another month later, Hungary, Slovakia and Romania join, with the USSR gaining Bessarabia. This is also where this parallel universe diverges. The Soviets are at war again, but this time it's against Japan, who started invading Far Eastern Russia on the 13th of March 1941. Since this surprises Russia, Japan occupies a good amount of land. They take cities such as Chita, Vladivostok and Komsomolsk-on-Amur, but they meet many Soviet divisions, leading to a stalemate. Right after that, in retaliation, Mongolia starts its invasion of one of Japan's puppet states, Manchukuo. This leads to the Japanese withdrawing some divisions from its eastern front line to its Mongolian one. The USSR advance with many successes, including the capture of the south of Sakhalin Island and some islands further east. Due to the Soviet successes in Asia, Communist China starts taking back land and advancing into another Japanese puppet, Manchukuo. Meanwhile, all of this is happening, the Soviets swiftly invade Iran and Afghanistan, which both succeed, now sharing a border with the British colony of the British Raj. This leads to the UK to reinforce that border. The Soviets push into Korea, eventually taking it fully. This leads the Japanese to know that they cannot beat the USSR, but they still keep fighting. At the same time, the USSR invades the British Raj, resulting in the entry of the Soviet Union in the Second World War. This also makes Japan ally with the UK, combining their navies to one side. The British advance through Iraq. Since the UK has transferred most of its army to the Middle East and South Asia, Nazi Germany plans to commence Operation Sea Lion by early 1945. Since the USSR has to fight two fronts, they are quickly pushed back to Tehran by Britain, which takes over cities like Kabul, Isfahan and Bizra. The British find out that Japan attacks Pearl Harbor, leading to the entry of the USA on the Axis side. Now, the war will be easily won by the Axis. 3 superpowers on one side, against some weaker nations. While all of this has happened, Germany has been developing nuclear bombs. Japanese government to render. Now on to the peace deal. With this, the Soviets take Hokkaido from Japan and make Manchuria and Korea puppet states. Communist China gets Manchukuo and Mongolia gets some of Manchuria. In Japan, a new communist state is formed that has a good opinion of the USSR. The end.